Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into something really cool, a wild synthesis of pure number theory and fluid dynamics. We're going to explore what happens when a computational engine, one built on these perfect, discrete rules, learns a totally new language, the language of continuous geometric flow.
So let's just frame this whole discussion around this one question. What happens when a machine that thinks in pure numbers learns to dream in spirals? And no, this isn't just some poetic idea. We're talking about literally merging two fundamentally different ways of seeing the world to unlock something brand new in computation. All right, to really get this, we first need to meet the star of our show. This is the story of the Amanda engine. Now, this is a unique computational framework, born right out of the theory of infinity, and it's on this endless hunt for order and stable patterns. So at its heart, the Amanda engine runs on a toroidal loop, basically a donut shape. Its whole job is to take incredibly complex, messy data and map it onto this shape. It uses the deep symmetries of number theory, especially principles from the theory of infinity, to find the hidden patterns and pull stable structures out of all that chaos. It's an architecture designed to find a clear signal inside a whole lot of noise.
So how does it do it? Well, Amanda's toolkit is where the theory of infinity really comes to life. It's not about brute force, it's all mathematical elegance. You've got golden angle modulation, which uses the magic of irrational numbers to spread inputs perfectly across that torus, so nothing ever clumps up. Then, there's a triadic structure to keep everything in perfect spectral balance, like a three-part harmony. It uses Fibonacci and Fibonacci sequences to build these beautiful, nested, self-similar patterns in the data. And those audits, J1 to J12, they're not just simple checks. They are active mathematical proofs, constantly making sure the engine stays true to its core principles. They're the guardians of its integrity.
Okay, so we've got this perfectly balanced, number-driven engine. It's precise, it's elegant. Now, let's throw a concept at it from a completely different universe, the swirling, continuous world of fluid dynamics.
And that concept has a name, the Beltrami flow. Now, this is a really special kind of fluid motion where the spin of the fluid, its vorticity, is perfectly aligned with the direction it's moving. The math behind it says the velocity field is an eigenfield of the curl operator, which is just a fancy way of saying everything is moving and spinning in perfect harmony. And this perfect alignment is key. It allows for these incredibly stable, self-organizing helical structures to just appear. It's basically nature's favorite way to swirl.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. Not at all. These flows are states of minimum energy, which is why nature absolutely loves them. We see them in the beautiful, chaotic patterns of what are called Arnold-Beltrami-Childress flows, and even in the force-free magnetic fields that are literally containing a star inside a plasma fusion reactor. This is a fundamental pattern of order in our physical universe.
So here's the crucial contrast, right? On one side, you have Amanda's world. It's all discrete points on a ring, governed by algorithms and the logic of number theory. On the other side, you've got Beltrami's world, continuous, spiraling paths through space, governed by the physics of fluids. One thinks in pixels, the other thinks in brushstrokes. So the big challenge is, how on earth do you get these two worlds to talk to each other?
And this brings us right to the heart of the innovation. How do you harmonize this continuous physical flow with Amanda's discrete rule-based code? This is really a challenge of translation and deep integration.
So on a practical level, engineers came up with three really clever ways to do this. First, you could just bake that helical bias right into the data from the very beginning. The second option is to tweak the engine's rulebook, specifically its parity audit, and essentially tell it, hey, a little bit of a persistent swirl is okay now. It's part of the new system. And the third, and maybe the most elegant solution, is to build a whole new adapter module that simulates the flow's swirling effect on every single cycle of the engine.
But the true genius here is how they got this to pass Amanda's incredibly strict security system, that audit gauntlet. You can't just force this in. To get past the J1 neutrality audit, which says don't add any net energy, they designed the flow as a zero-mean pattern. It adds shape but no substance. For J2 parity, which flags any handedness, they actually adjusted the audit itself to accept a controlled amount of swirl as the new normal. And to satisfy J5's demand for threefold symmetry, they simply designed the flow to have a corresponding threefold helical twist. They literally harmonized the external geometry with the engine's internal math.
Okay, so they did all this elegant engineering. Why? What's the big payoff? Well, the benefits are just profound. It's all about giving information a new dimension it never had before: geometry.
This changes everything. The helical motion acts like a super advanced sharpening filter, making the edges in the data pop with incredible clarity.
The engine's audits get way more sensitive because the flow takes tiny little errors and sweeps them up into a big, global pattern that's impossible to miss. It also smooths out random noise while carefully preserving the important structures underneath. And maybe coolest of all, it opens up brand new ways to encode information using the phase and the twist of the flow itself as new data channels.
And there's a quote from the source material that just nails it. It injects geometry into information processing, literally carving the data flow into helical shapes. That word literally is doing a lot of work there. This isn't just an analogy anymore. The engine is now processing information that has an actual physical geometric shape.
So the result of all this is, well, it's a complete reimagining of what the engine even is and what it's capable of doing.
We started this journey with an engine built on the clean, predictable world of discrete rules, a pure number theory.
And we've arrived at an engine that now thinks and processes information through the lens of continuous flowing geometry. It has learned a second language, and in doing so, it has bridged the gap between pure algorithm and pure physics.
And this whole thing leaves us with one final, kind of mind-bending thought. We've managed to teach a machine to think like a fluid. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What other fundamental patterns and forces of nature could we embed into our computers? What happens when we teach a machine to think like a crystal or a galaxy? What could that even redefine as possible?